welcome back to my channel. My name is Molly and this is my 5 quick tips to help you prevent self-harm. Tip 1, try to avoid and see how you feel. Now, it's easier said than done. When you get the urge, if you try to just delay the urge for as long as you possibly can, try to distract yourself by doing something else. And even if you just say, I'll wait and see how I feel in 10 minutes, I'll wait and see how I feel in an hour, I'll wait and see how I feel in 20 minutes. And each time you get to that point, try to delay a little bit longer. Now, it definitely helps to do something that can distract you from it. I always say try to avoid just sitting down watching the telly, or if you're just sitting in bed listening to music. It is hard to stop yourself and your mind can wander. So try going on a walk, calling a friend, making a cup of tea. I love tea. Just saying. Making a cup of tea, cooking something for yourself, anything that involves actually doing something in the place of the self-harm can be really useful, and it can result in, by the time you've done the things that you wanted to do and you've been distracting yourself, the urge may have gone, and in that moment you might not need to do it anymore at that time. Number 2 is apps. Now, there are some really great apps that are designed to help with self-harm. One that I do enjoy is called Calm Harm. Now, it might not be for everyone. I will leave it up on the screen here somewhere, and I'll leave it linked below as well. But that basically gives you an option of how you're feeling. So if you're feeling angry, or you're feeling sad, or you're feeling frustrated, you basically will tell the app how you're feeling and why you're wanting to self-harm, or why that you've got the urge, and then it will give you different tasks to do. And again, it's another way of distracting, but it does help, because while you're getting distracted, the urge can subside, and it could result in you feeling like you no longer need to do that. And it's also just a great awareness kind of app that really brings you back to your awareness and away from the negative thoughts that you're having. Number 3, which is another thing that I find really helpful, is writing down your feelings. Now, I know this can be difficult. A lot of people that self-harm are self-harming because they can't express their emotions or their feelings, and it's a way to get out those feelings that they've got. But if you try to just have a book or a diary, something nobody ever needs to read, but if you try to write down exactly how you're feeling and why you're feeling that way, it can be really helpful to help you understand why you're feeling like you want to self-harm. But it's also a way of releasing, and by releasing and getting all of those emotions out onto the paper, you can end up feeling like you don't actually need to do the action of self-harm. Number 4, now I don't know if this is an option outside of the UK, but I do know that other countries have options like this, but in the UK we call it the Good Samaritans. I'll leave the number up here, and I'll also leave them linked down below. You can ring them at any time. It's 24 hours, and there are trained people on the other end of the line, and they will talk to you for as long as they need to talk to you, and you don't have to talk about the self-harm. They'll have a conversation. When I've spoken to them in the past, they're always lovely, they're understanding, they listen, and it's again another way of preventing the self-harm there and then. They can also put you in directions for help with counselling, or if you need to maybe speak to the GP, and they're just really somebody to talk to that's completely outside of your circle. They don't know who you are, they're not a friend or family member, and I found it really helpful in the past, even just having a conversation with somebody where I can get all of my emotions and feelings out, knowing that that person in no way is going to be judging me, and they don't know me, and it's not going to affect anything, any relationships outside of just that conversation. Number 5 is rewarding. So it sounds a bit silly, but if you have the urge to self-harm and instead you really like going to a certain place, or you really like doing a certain thing, if you think to yourself, okay, if I don't self-harm and I get past a certain point, or I get 5 days self-harm free, or I can get an hour self-harm free, I can have XYZ, then you are basically promoting non-self-harm with positive outcomes. Obviously, don't take it so seriously that it becomes negative, but if it's just something silly like, oh, I'll buy myself that really nice ice cream that I like, that I wanted, just something that's positive that will reinforce that feeling of not self-harming equals positivity. And also, just with that as well, what I find really helpful is tracking your progress. Now, I know this isn't for everybody, but I downloaded, I'll leave it again, I'll leave it here. I think it was the Sober app, or I'll leave the name of it here, even though it is called the name has Sober in it. You can basically track anything that you want to track. And when I was coming back from relapse from self-harm, I found it so helpful being able to see my progress and the other people under the same bracket of whatever it is that you were trying to not do. So for example, there'll be a community of people that were trying not to self-harm, and because everybody was on the app wanting not to self-harm, it was a really positive place where people were trying to help each other and push each other on and give positive praise and positive tips and tricks. Because sometimes I think if you dive on into the internet, you can end up in a really negative place where it can kind of end up making you feel worse, and there can be a lot of behaviour of competitiveness or ending up pushing you into doing more self-harm. Whereas with this app, it was everybody that was in the app, they wanted to stop self-harming, they wanted help and support, and I found it was a really helpful and positive community that really helped me. That was my 5 quick tips on helping to prevent self-harm. If you've got any tips and tricks that help you, please do leave them in a comment below. Let's keep everything positive and try to help each other out. I do know that it won't work for everybody and everybody's different. And I also want to make a point in saying that if you do relapse or you do self-harm, don't be hard on yourself. Self-harm is part of it's a mental health issue, and it's not always something that you're in control of. Just taking the steps to try and help yourself and try and prevent the self-harm is a positive thing, and if you do relapse or you are struggling, there's nothing to be ashamed of, and you shouldn't be hard on yourself. There's so many people in the same position as you. Recovery isn't linear. It's not a straight line, there's going to be ups and downs, but as long as you are trying, then you are on the right path and you're doing everything that you can do to get yourself better. So please just remember, there's always somebody that you can speak to, you can always reach out, and I'll leave some helpful links below. If you like this video, I'd really love you to give it a thumbs up, and if you could subscribe and tick the little bell notification, because that'll let you know when I've uploaded so you won't miss any videos. I am going to be doing more of these 5 fast tips, so if you've got any suggestions on things that you'd like the 5 fast tips for, then just leave a suggestion in the comments below. And if you could just follow me on social media, I do lots of mental health stuff over there. I am on social media as OCD and me, and I'm on TikTok under the same name as well. And I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!